Well, I was raised in Philly, suburban Philadelphia. Where are you located?
We actually just moved to Boca in Florida.
Boca. That's my mom and
Yeah.
my brother. I was raised in Fort Lauderdale, and
Get out of here.
I was not too long ago on East Meisner Boulevard, where my mom lives. And Palm Air was a big part of my upbringing. My father made an awful lot of money, and he had 6 months in suburban Philadelphia and 6 months in Fort Lauderdale. Oh, that's how I
Where
grew
in
up. Snowbird.
where in suburbia, Philadelphia?
Ballackinwood.
Okay. My wife's
You know
from
Ballackinwood?
I do. My wife's from Newtown.
No kidding. Wow,
Yeah.
that's unique.
Yeah. So we go up there. Like her parents are still there, and grandparents, aunts, uncles. So we go to that neck of the woods multiple times a year.
Nice area. My sister is in Chester Springs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Small
Federal
world.
lawyer, 2 PhDs, schools for autistic children, board of AT&T.
Wow.
Super gal. My whole family,
Wow.
super people, except me.
Except you're the enlightened one.
No, I'm the unenlightened one. My whole process, which we'll get into today, is exactly opposite of what you might hear. So anyway, so School of Hard Knocks after being a kind of a rich kid, and then became a Zen monk, then head of security for the Guru of the Beatles Major Retreat Center, then apprenticed to the world's top Kung Fu master, one of the world's top Kung Fu Taoist Qigong priests, then retreats with whom the Dalai Lama said is the greatest living meditation master, and it goes on and on and on. Always trying to find out how I'm not enlightened. I'm really big on non-enlightenment, because I think that we have more of a issue with finding out our repressed stuff, and we've got a big take on trying to buy this product or take this course or do something, kind of get over it and get above it all.
Yep.
So I think the deeper we go into real training, it's kind of the opposite of that. Like, how can I feel safe to reveal my personal issues, things like that.
Yep.
And if we create a safe space for each other in that, I think that's the quickest path to real enlightenment.
Yeah, that's our entire, I've always told people, like, I wanted to name our course Find Safety, but I don't think that people would ever actually come and be part of those programs. So, but yeah, that's honestly what we've delved in over the last 5-6 years. I'd say that's after doing 15-16 years of the other stuff, which was like management tools. We really started to realize that you can do some amazing healing if you just get out of the way and create safety for it to arise. So yeah, that's been our practice. Are you taking people through this work?
Yeah. I have multiple groups and individual students all over the world.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So tell me a little bit, more about your process and kind of what you're bringing through. It sounds very much aligned.
Well, the first thing is, I don't know, I don't understand. I kind of keep it there. And then the next thing would be, what's a real master? In Zen, they talk about the transmission of the teaching outside the scriptures and the passing of the lamp.
Mm-hmm.
So there's two components to what I'm able to understand to help myself and to help other people. The one is the stick person. Draw a stick person, scribble on where you don't understand, where you need help, where you're confused, what your personal issues are, what your repressed memories are, and keep going as much as you can. And I guide you through that, or guide myself through that, people. And how far can we go in removing the covering? Because that's what I find to be our main barrier, is that we can't remove the covering. And then the next thing is, we're figuring it out. We're not submitting to real teachers. I'm not an enlightened person, period.
Yep.
And I don't believe you are.
Nope.
But I think that, like an Amici, or whom the Dalai Lama says the greatest living meditation master, or some of these people I apprenticed with, I think that they can funnel their power into my confusion, into your area of need.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't have a gaining idea. Only I would just like to be healed. I would like to be happier. I'd like to be healthier. I would like to know the mystery of life more. I would like to have the kind of eyes that people have when they're in love, not external, it's immersed in something. So I guide people to introductions to the real teachers. Like I'm a student of Master Gu on Wudang Mountain, Taoist priest, Qigong master, Kung Fu master.
Wow.
That's where you get the real juice. I'm a Gracie Jiu-Jitsu student, so you want to learn martial arts, you go to something like that. Got 3 stripes in that one. And then Amici and Drubwang Rinpoche. So many different things. Shunryu Suzuki. So I match personalities to what you might like. Oh, I want the Qi thing. That's something. And then I go, oh, he wants the Qi thing. Okay. So I've got a book about the scriptures of Qigong. We'll see what it takes to the individual. And little by little sculpt a personalized way to address mind, body, and soul that creates a platform to advance meditation. So the Scribbles map and the My Favorites list together, and science saying, did my brain waves change? So I use the device, or I tell you to get the HRV app, Did my emotions change? Am I feeling more comfortable in talking about my trauma or my secret bad addiction problem with the cookies or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
If my internal dialogue was in front of the whole world, how would that look? How would I rate? So we use exposure and support in a personalized way, the feeling of safety, to create moments that ripple. 10s, 5s, customize. 10 seconds now and then in the midst of daily life, and there's things to do. 5 minutes to practice the 3 steps to flow. First step, remove the covering. Second step, centering, nasal airflow, eyelid light, pulse, brain waves, heavier body. And then step 3, transcendence. So these are some of the components. And I've got 12 books I've written, and
wow.
I try to look at the individual and customize a personalized approach. Or for teams, like I do a lunch and learn for companies, come in through the video and have the company buy everybody lunch. So it's already a success before I even talk, because they all get free lunch.
Yeah, they all got free lunch.
Yeah. And then I take them through breathing, and I developed a system for the trainers, the Olympic ski team, where you put your hands on your ribs, move just your ribs, where you put your hands on your back, feel your lower back move as you inhale and exhale. So there's all kinds of different options, and over 7 sessions for the individual. And even if it's a large group, you get a custom designed plan for advanced meditation and energy healing.
Very cool. And you work primarily with groups or individuals?
It goes back and forth. Depends on the season. The group might show up, or I might be invited to talk to a group or do a workshop series, or I might do an online thing. But the individuals are constant. The individuals are long-term, many of them. And just twice a month we meet.
Yeah.
We go through the 7 steps. So the 3 steps is the first part, and the 7 steps goes like this. Catharsis, centering, darshan, that means the energy of a real master. So find out, what your real master connection is and get into that. They do simple things repetitiously. No skills developed without endless repetition. Boring. They don't have commentary on a zillion things. Anyway, darshan, that's step 3. Step 4, rooting. How do you have more personal gravity? We sit on a sheet of space-time, and the more mass you've got, the more you accept some wonderful moment into your cells. You feel the solidity, you bend space-time. Rooting, we talk about rooting and many aspects to that. Earth-shattering, groundbreaking, heart, guts, balls, backbone, roots that go deep. The centers have empowerment once you gain more personal gravity.
Yep.
Blooming is then what happens next. You come out of meditation and you kind of peek out at reality, and you start to get connected with lots of these nourishments here, the trees and the oceans and the stars and so forth. And then step 6, pre-processing and printing. You start to live third eye open, which means you have so much safety that you yourself feel like a coalescing of reality inside your body. So you have these 10s, 5s, customized 10s during the day, 5 minutes to experience these steps. And then step 7 is, I call it the establishment. That might be a lot to take in right now, but it's modeled after how enlightenment happens for a person. I mean, you got to remove the covering, you got to have expert instruction and so forth. But what we're talking about now, I know we're talking about me possibly being on the podcast and everything, and I can do that, and I'll even play nicer than I do with you. But really, I'm just talking to you right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's beautiful. Yeah, it's interesting. It's like you get to a depth of work, and I always knew, even in personal development, like mindset stuff, you read this, you read that, it was always pointing to something. You know, someone said it a little bit different here, someone said it a little bit different there, but there always felt like this thing. So as I'm listening to you talk, it's very interesting because a lot of the work that we do, even though the words that we use are slightly different, it all is basically exactly to where we've gotten to, this place of, you know, I tell people, like, if you can find a grounded state of safety and well-being, almost everything that you will ever want or need will be provided. And it's just that ability to deepen that connection. And so when you were talking about gravity and really making yourself more dense, I was like, yeah, that's basically been my entire practices for the last few years, has been that. It's interesting because it's so simple
Yeah.
from a practice standpoint, and people have tried so hard to overcome and figure all these things out. And when you just tell them, like, you can just sit and ground, and they're like, the mind's gone. It can't be that easy.
No sense, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it can't be. That's beautiful. You said you've written a bunch of books.
Don't
I
ask
would
me the titles because I don't know.
No, that's fine. I'm curious if there's I always just love to read, you know, anything that people have put together or watch videos or anything like that, to just learn more about someone before we do the podcast. I'd love to, if there's one that you recommend or something that you recommend I watch, you know, about your process, things like that. I'd love to do that as well.
Well, if you go on my website, I think at the top, does it say book somewhere?
What's your website?
WilliamMartino.com. It's very simple. It's I don't do any marketing, any advertising, zero. Any posting, absolutely zero. The only person that does my class is somebody that I invite to do my class. And the only group that shows up is, like, Danielle says, here's a podcast, can you go on it? And I'm like, okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
on there, I think the books are there. So you can, I think a lot of the books are just free and full printed already. You just click on them and the book is there. The Masteries in Meditation is in Barnes and Noble around the world. Of course, not many people are going into Barnes and Noble stores right now, but that's the most popular one. And then the other books, like The Essence of Qigong, it's the Qigong scriptures from Wudang Mountain. I mean, that's a very solid study for somebody that's interested in the science of energy medicine and healing.
Nice.
Overcoming depression. I mean, we've all got to work on mindset and mood and things. And that's a nice book. Love and Sex, A Match Made in Heaven, Played Out on Earth. A little zest for people when they want a little zest.
It's beautiful.
I think
What's something that you're very passionate about or love to speak about, but you haven't really ever spoken about on a podcast?
How the path advancing appears retreating.
Say more. I love that.
Well, the doing, that's the Tao Te Ching. That's not me. The whole obsession with our minds is commentary and doing and overcoming problems and getting on with it and making more money and having more sex appeal and, you know, all of that. And actually the way to get all that is reversed. The way to get all that is to slow down, stop, and reverse your search. You don't need to think. You don't need much of anything. You maybe a simple mantra or a real teacher and get that vibe, because, you know, experts are required for any skill. PhD, your process, my process, anything. There's a curriculum, and there's homework. And the more that you get to a real master of enlightenment, the more that you really just sweep the floor and listen. And I mean, it's a tough sell. I mean, I was sharing with my wife just a minute ago here, and every morning we do hours before I start teaching. And it's always the same thing. The lesson is the path advancing appears retreating. And to explain that to people is very, very challenging. But I have a process. And when I talk to you, or when I talk to anybody inside of myself, I'm knowing that, hey, we're at the middle of the interview right now, or so, or it's over already. Well, anyway, I'm late, but we are at the place, if there's any more time left, where I can start to slow everything down. I can start to interject certain techniques to begin to have you release stuff, slow down, forget about what's next, and just rest. Because if you have profound rest, there's going to be a lot of magic that happens after. And you can certainly, I know you know that, things spontaneously happen when you are coherent. Personal coherence is the luck factor in life, and we can do that, now. We don't have to do that later.
Yes. I love that. Yeah, we're